Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to evening devotion. Tonight we're going to be reading out of Luke 8:42. Oops. But as he went. Giving the dog his treat. Go eat it. Go eat your treat. All right, gonna go back over there. We're on the couch. Go eat it. Cito can't figure out what to do. The whole verse says, "For he had an only daughter, about 12 years of age, and she was dying. But as he, Jesus, went, the multitudes thronged him." Let's go up here. All right, that was the demon possessed man. Okay, our context for this one starts here in verse 40. Jesus heals a woman and Jairus' daughter. So it was when Jesus returned that the multitude welcomed him, for they were all waiting for him. And behold, there came a man named Jairus, and he was a ruler of the synagogue. And he fell down at Jesus' feet and begged him to come to his house, for he had an only daughter about 12 years of age, and she was dying. But as he went, the multitudes thronged him. Now, a woman having a flow of blood for 12 years, who had spent all her livelihood on physicians and could not be healed anyway, came from behind and touched the border of his garment. She barely reached down and just touched the hem. And immediately her flow of blood stopped. And Jesus said, "Who touched me?" She had to have been terrified. When all denied it, Peter and those with him said, "Master, the multitudes throng and press you, and you say, 'Who touched me?'" But Jesus says, "Somebody touched me, for I perceived power." In the King James, it says virtue going out from me. Now when the woman saw that she was not hidden, she came trembling and falling down before him. She declared to him in the presence of all the people the reason she had touched him and how she was healed immediately. And he said to her, "Daughter, be of good cheer. Your faith has made you well. Go in peace." And then it goes on to other things. He was having a lot of interactions here. My nose is already getting stuffy again. I was on the road all day today, so had to go up to Buda. My mom bought another utility trailer. Her 20-footer kind of fell apart. It's pretty beat up. But she wanted something heavier duty, so that's what we went up to go do today. But they didn't have the one she wanted on site, so we had to wait till Friday because they got to bring it down from Dallas. But she got it. And it's actually going to work pretty good. It's definitely going to make my job a lot easier because I'm the one that deals with all that stuff. So she's making my life way easier by buying this equipment. As long as even in my condition and the struggles I have with doing physical things, if I have the tools and the equipment and all that, I can get almost anything done. As long as I have what I need to do it. Just like when you get older and stoved up, you got to have more tools. And anytime I get a chance, I teach the younger generation, power tools are your friend. And we didn't have power tools growing up. We did everything by hand, everything by ratchet. There were no power tools. And if they were so expensive you couldn't afford them. So, we did everything the hard way. Nowadays, they got lifts and transmission jacks and all that. We would lay underneath it, pull the transmission off the back of the motor under the vehicle, set it on our chest, and then roll to the side and drag it out. And we put it back in the same way. Yeah, it was a nightmare. Nowadays, they pull the whole body of the vehicle off. We didn't do that back then. You couldn't afford it. And the amount of stone bruises I've had in my back laying on gravel. Yeah. So Jesus was having an issue here. He was surrounded. And people were trying to get something from him. And a woman got healed just in passing. That's amazing. Jesus is passing through the throng to the house of Jairus to raise the ruler's dead daughter. But he is so profuse in goodness that he works another miracle while upon the road. While he's walking in the crowd, he's creating miracles. Now, I want to throw this out there. We only read about the ones that were recorded. What if other stuff happened that wasn't recorded? And I've always thought this because there's a phrase that is a verse that says, If all the things Jesus did were written down, the whole world would be filled with the books. Now, I talked about this in a video quite a while back, where if to calculate how many books it would be to fill the whole world, and if you measure, so many feet off the ground or a foot off the ground, here's how many books it would take. And it's astronomical and astounding. And that's to record all the things Jesus did. What does that tell us? We're only getting a little tiny tidbit of what happened back then. How many other miracles did he do that we never known about? And then people were there and they saw it. While yet this rod of Aaron bears the blossom of an unaccomplished wonder, it yields the ripe almonds of a perfect work of mercy. It is enough for us if we have some one purpose, straight way to go and accomplish it. It were imprudent to expend our energies by the way. Hastening to the rescue of a drowning friend, we cannot afford to exhaust our strength upon another in like danger. It is enough for a tree to yield one sort of fruit, and for a man to fulfill his own peculiar calling. But our Master knows no limit of power or boundary of mission. Let me let that sit there for a minute and marinate. Because that's amazing to me. That's incredible to me. But our Master knows no limit of power or boundary of mission. That's staggering. And when you use that understanding and that grasp of things, when compared to our salvation, kind of helps us understand just how much more there is to this than we know. He is so prolific of grace that, like the sun which shines as it rolls onward in its orbit, his path is radiant with loving kindness. He is a swift arrow of love, which not only reaches its ordained target, but perfumes the air through which it flies. This is interesting because I'm going to tell you guys something. I had forgotten to mention it in the beginning. I'm going to tell you guys something when we're done here involving Sister Nina's brother we had prayed for. Virtue involving this stuff that's going on, virtue is evermore going out of Jesus, as sweet odors exhale from flowers, and it always will be emanating from him, as water from a sparkling fountain. He is without bottom. He is without volume. He is without limit on his love and his mercy. This ought to give you a little bit more of an insight into his love. Now, when we get to heaven, we'll understand it because we'll be able to perceive it fully. But here we don't, but we can learn about it. The kind of love that would make him give himself for us physically. Would make him sacrifice himself. The kind of love that would make him choose us from eternity past and know us by name and mark out our paths before the world was ever even created to make the path on. What delightful encouragement this truth affords us. If our Lord is so ready to heal the sick and bless the needy, then my soul, be not thou slow to put thyself in his way, that he may smile on thee. Be not slack in asking. It's the same thing I've been harping on for 7.5 years. Go to the Lord, take it to him. Be not slack in asking, if he be so abundant in bestowing. If he's willing, why aren't we able? He's able. We need to be willing. I'm going to say that again. Think about this. Meditate on this. If he's willing to bless us so richly, why aren't we able to ask him for it? If he's able to fulfill those, why aren't we willing to ask? Take it to the throne, folks. You have full access as a Christian. Nothing will restrain you and no one will restrain you. If anybody attempts to step in your way, the Lord says, that's one of mine. Get out of the way. Come on up here, child. What do you need? Lord, I need this. Already done. Go back. Go back and wait. Already done. Already taken care of. You don't need to worry about it. That's in my control. Take it to the throne, folks. Take it to the throne. Give earnest heed to his word now and at all times, that Jesus may speak through it to thy heart. Where's the Word? The Bible. What do we talk about this morning? What do we talk about the last couple of days? Read the Bible. Where is he? Where he is to be found there, make thy resort, that thou mayest obtain his blessing. When he is present to heal, may he not heal thee? But surely he is present even now, for he always comes to hearts which need him. And dost not thou need him? Sure we do. Ah, he knows how much. Thou son of David, turn thine eye and look upon the distress which is now before thee, and make thy suppliant whole. Lord, don't call everybody out from the dead. Just call Lazarus from the dead. That's why he said, Lazarus, come out. Because if he'd have said, come out, everybody that was dead in the area would have come out. How do we know? Well, it happened when he died and rose. When he died, the graves blew open. When he rose, they rose. We have records of it. Ken Johnson was talking about it a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I think. He was talking about it. We have records of it. We have records of some of them people and how they died after they rose and how long they lived. He said some of them lived a long time, but we have records of it. I told you guys we have records. We have records of it. And they were raised up as a testimony to his resurrection. That's how good he is. Oh, I'm going to raise myself up for their justification, for their salvation. Really, Lord? Yep. And on top of that, I'm going to raise a bunch of other people up to testify of it. So that not only those that are there in the moment witnessing it, but those that receive their loved ones who have been dead for 20 years from the dead, and their loved ones go back and say, y'all ain't going to believe this. You need to believe on Jesus Christ because he's the one that brought me back. See, we don't read about their ministry and what they did. I bet they were beating the streets looking for people. Y'all need to believe on Jesus Christ. I'm back because of him. I've talked about that before. Think about it. Goes back to the family. Say there's 3 members in the family other than them. Goes back to the family. Well, those 3 members go tell their neighbors and friends. And then they tell their neighbors and friends. And then they tell their neighbors and friends. Everybody in Jerusalem would have known this. Hey, did y'all hear? Bob came back from the dead. What? Bob's been dead 37 years. The Lord brought him back when the Lord rose. He's at the house now. He's out at the house now. They're doing a cookout. Celebrating his return. Are you serious? Yeah, let's go. Bob, how you been? I've been dead. Been hanging out in Abraham's bosom, but the Lord came and got us. What was that like? Oh, you don't need to worry about that. What you need to worry about is believing on him, because the only way you can go to heaven is to be in him. The only way you can be saved is to believe in him and believe on his name. I can just imagine what all went on. I'm just saying stuff, but that's astounding to consider. That Jesus, in his amazing goodness, not only rose himself up from the dead, but brought back a bunch of other people and sent them on to go testify. Not only did he have apostles and disciples, but he had all them people too, going out there saying, hey, y'all need to believe. You need to get in on this. Amazing things are going to happen. We need to have this kind of passion now. Look at the world today. Look at what's going on. Look at what's happening. Amir Sarfati said in a video, somebody else was interviewing. I didn't watch the whole thing, but just glanced at it. And he said, he goes, I'm convinced it's close. He said that a few times. I'm convinced it's very close. Well, he's not the only one. A lot of people are like, yeah, it looks like it might be like real quick. And I know people out there are going to say, oh, y'all been saying that. No, that's what the Bible said that you would say. Mockers and scoffers would come. Oh, well, yeah, we have been saying that. It's because we're warning people. The Lord doesn't warn you once and then that's it. The Lord warns you over and over and over again so that you'll get it. Okay, fine. You guys keep warning. All right, I got it. I believe. I think you're right. Then we all go to heaven when the Lord comes. And he has to come take us out. We have to be removed so that the wrath can be poured out. We won't be here for that. And when that'll happen, I don't know. But I'm in agreement with everybody else that says it feels like it's very close. I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Look at the world today. That can't go on much longer without it spilling out. without it erupting. And the restrainer is the only one holding it back. They are all but calling for the Antichrist, the world leader, to be brought forward. They are all but calling for it. All nations must be primed and ready to receive this one person that will solve all the problems and make all the agreements and make everybody feel happy. They're all waiting for that one person. Nobody knows who he is. I don't need to know who he is. I have a guess. I have an opinion because of very specific criteria that this individual meets, given in the Bible, plus a few other little things. But be that as it may, we don't need to know who it is because we're not going to see him. But the world is all but calling for him. So when the world is primed and ready to receive this individual, there's no reason for us to be here anymore. They're ready for it. They've made their decision. And everything will change. Now, luckily, a bunch of people are going to change their mind after we're gone because they're going to realize, wow, I'm an idiot. I was listening to him and I was shining them on and I wasn't paying any attention, or I kicked him to the curb, or I mocked him, made fun of him, and here they were right. Lord, I believe. Help my unbelief. Amazing. Amazing. If there's something eating on you or bother you, take it to the throne. I've been a lot in prayer here lately. Every single day, outside of the videos. Something's eating on you, something's bothering you, take it to the Lord. Let him deal with it in his perfect way and in his perfect time. We may have to wait, but we need to learn patience anyway. And he will work a miracle before your very eyes. He's doing it right now. All these things that are happening, he's working miracles, right? We're witnessing it. Because his goodness is so overflowing, so overly manifested, he can't help but bless his people. Yeah, look, Satan goes up. Look at them over there. Look at them people over there. Look at all those. Look at the stuff they're doing. Look at that. You're saving these people. Look at what they're doing. I think I'm just going to bless them some more. Yeah, I know they're messed up, but I didn't call them to perfection. I'll make them perfect. I just want them to believe. I just want them to follow me and do what I say. That's it. I'll fix everything. I'm gonna bless them some more. You don't like that? Well, that's tough. It's not your call. You're not the one in control. I am. All things are under my authority right now, and that's what the Bible says. All things are under the authority of Jesus Christ. Go to him. Take anything and everything to him, and you will know what I'm talking about. Suddenly it'll click. Suddenly it'll become so super clear. You can't believe it. That his goodness is so overwhelming. We will struggle. We will have doubts and fears. We will stumble. We will question. We will wonder. But the fact of the matter is, Jesus Christ is on his throne and is in control, and there is nothing that will change that. And I love that. I love that. So, real quick, you guys know we've been praying for Nina's brother, the one who had strokes and heart attack. He has passed. He passed this morning. Now, I'll let Nina comment and tell you any details she wants to tell you. But he was not a very good person. He wasn't a very savory person that anybody would want to be around. But it's not my place to share those details. I'll let her do that if she wants to. But he is gone now, and a burden has been lifted from a great many people. My wife has had that experience, considering the circumstances, because she's dealt with that stuff, those activities too, and my own mother too had that experience. A great burden has been lifted. Now, whether he was saved or not, we don't know. We can't know. Hopefully, we'll see him in heaven. Hopefully, he changed and the Lord forgave him, and he's washed and clean, and he will be vastly different. In fact, he would be a great trophy for the Lord. Let's hope that that's the case. But when men do evil and they're removed, it's a great burden lifted off the earth and off the people. And so he's at peace now. Well, he's at peace now. I'll say that. And a lot of people feel guilty about feeling bad over somebody who's done a lot of bad things to other people, and they feel guilty about not being upset. And like Nana had told me, she goes, I feel sad, but I can't explain the sadness. And I said, what you may be experiencing, it may seem like sadness. Some of it may be sadness. I said, but Nina, what you may be experiencing is relief. Because as long as individuals that do terrible things walk this earth, it's a burden on the planet. It's a burden on the people. And when they're gone, that burden is lifted. You may be experiencing an incredible amount of relief. A chapter of your life is closed. Told my mom the same thing today. She was in the truck listening. She could hear it, the conversation. I told her too. I said, that chapter of your life is closed now. And it's a strange feeling. It's different. I experienced it, but in a very different way. It was involving the military. Because I didn't want to let go. I was med boarded and sent home December of 2014. Time for you to go. We don't need you no more. You're sick. Here's your stuff. Get out. If you're in we were like 10 miles from Lake Ontario. We were right there at the Canadian border. And it would take about 5 hours, maybe 4 or 5 hours to get out of New York State, going down to Pennsylvania. It took us, I kid you not, 3 days to get out of that state because it decided to snow. A blizzard came in the day we decided to pack up and leave. 3 days to get out of that state. Couldn't get out of there fast enough. And I spent all the years, from then, coming up to recently, 2018, basically, having a hard time letting go of that. Because I had a lot of regrets. I had plans. I knew what I wanted to do, what I wanted to accomplish. I was looking forward to it. And none of it manifested. Matter of fact, pretty much everybody in my leadership stood in my way and stopped me from doing it. And then I got sick, and here I am. But here's the thing. When I let that go, when that chapter of my life finally closed, I stopped holding the book open. So much more peace. Let it go. So if you have a chapter in your life that's still open because of tragedy or an illness or other things, I don't want to get too graphic. If there's no catalyst in that no more, let that chapter close in your life and move forward. A lot of times we hold on to these burdens and there's no reason to. A lot of times we hold on and bear that because we think that's what completes us and that's what makes us who we are. And there's no reason to. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go be with the Lord. Let the Lord deal with it. And stand up straight and walk forward into the light. I know we got way off topic here. This woman had that issue a long time. Physicians couldn't help her. Finally, she says, you know what? I'm not going to bear this burden anymore. I'm going to go talk to the Lord. And if I can't talk to him, if the crowd won't let me in, at the very least, I can crawl under somebody and touch the hem of his garment. And that'll be enough. I'll be healed from there. She had full faith that his healing power would help her, even if he didn't know it. And she went up there and she touched the hem of his garment. Maybe it was on his arm. Maybe it was down by his legs. I don't know. But she touched it and was healed. And Jesus said, your faith has made you whole. You believed? Enjoy. We need to believe. We need to believe that it's okay to let those things go. Okay to let those burdens go. Okay to go to the throne and say, Lord, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to carry this anymore. And the Lord would look at us and go, then why are you carrying it? Lay it down. Lay it down and walk away. I got this. Let me carry your burden for you. I believe there's a passage in the Bible about that. So take it to the Lord. Take it to the Lord and be healed. Just like she did. Just like so many have. Just like generation after generation has. Take it to the Lord and be healed. And do not be burdened with the things that you don't need to be burdened with anymore. Because life is so much better without those things, and the peace that defies all understanding and the joy inexpressible will be yours to the fullest possible degree when you let those things go. And just be a Christian. Keep it simple. Love him, he will love you back. He already does. Matter of fact, he loved us before we were ever created. So you can't go wrong doing that. You can't go wrong. So again, take it to the Lord. Take it to him. You'll understand what you do. If there's somebody listening to this that is carrying a burden around they don't need anymore, take it to the Lord and tell it to him. The Bible tells us, pour your heart out before the Lord. And when you're done, you'll go, wow, I feel great. I feel like a great anxiety, a great frustration, a great burden has been lifted off my shoulders. And the Lord will say, that's because I took it. You finally let it go so I could take it from you. He's not going to force us. He wants us to willingly give it to him. I love you all very much. I bless you all in Jesus' name. See you in the next video.